lot of very interesting people up front. You know, we haven't even talked much about Tommy Ellis. Boy, talk about a veteran of late model Sportsman racing. He is now running in 4th position, and Jimmy Hensley is running in 3rd position. But right now, Jack Arute is standing by with a report on Jeff Hensley.
Nobody likes to come to this area, the infield care center, but when you crash, you have to come here for a mandatory checkup. We happened to get here just as Jeff Hensley was pulled out of the ambulance and spoke to him directly and said, "Jeff, are you okay?" He gave us the 3-wing sign, but as we noticed, there was an ice pack on his knee, on his left knee to be specific, but other than that, he's perfectly all right, according to Jeff. But he has to go through the documentation from the medicos here before he'll be released.
All right, thank you, Jack. We'll continue to watch that situation and hope everything works out well for Jeff. Now, we understand there is the black flag for Harry Gant, who made a pit stop just a few laps ago and reportedly ran a stoplight at the end of pit road, so he'll have to come in for a stop-and-go situation, and then can go right back out on the racetrack. But Harry Gant had fallen in the 2nd spot, and this is going to drop him to the rear of the field.
Some of the other guys are running up front. Now, there's the Harry Gant's crew, the Jack Ingram Skull Bandit crew, being explained to Jack and crew, and Jack Arute standing by as to what the situation is with Harry Gant.
Jack Ingram, what's the story?
Well, they said Harry should run the stop sign down there, but Harry says there's nobody down there with a stop sign.
But you still have to come in.
Yeah, we got to come in.
All right, that's the story here from Jack Ingram, who's been replaced by Harry Gant. Black flag consultation.
All right, and we'll see if he comes in this time around. He moved to the inside of Brad Teague. It looks like he is going to heed the black flag and come in this time around. Darrell Waltrip, meanwhile, who suffered some body damage in that crash with Jeff Hensley, is in and out of the pits once again.
I'll tell you about this penalty on Harry Gant. That's kind of a stiff one, because we are to the point in the race now where you got to say we're in the final stages of the event. We go 147 laps, or we got 100, or we have 41 to go. Now Harry is going to be on the back of the line of about 25 cars, so this really is costly. He was in 2nd position in line as well as 2nd position in the race. He will be on the same lap as the leaders of the race, but now he's got about 25 cars to get through. And this racetrack, you pretty much got to count, even if you're the fastest guy on the track, on about 1 car per lap in terms of moving position.
Well, theoretically, there are 12 cars on the lead lap, so if they do have the correct, there, by the way, is the stop sign that Harry allegedly ran, and you can see how the sign has just now turned to go, so Harry, no problem this time. If they line up in the correct 2 abreast formation for the restart, Harry will fall into 12th spot since he still is on the lead lap. Well, one of the exciting events that ESPN is delighted to bring for you live this year is the Boston Marathon. And although I am not one of those who will probably be competing in it, it will be held at 11:30 a.m. this coming Monday morning. And it's the 89th running up the Boston Marathon, the 2nd time that ESPN will have live coverage. We hope you'll join us for it this coming Monday morning at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPN.
You know, this division has turned out 5 different winners in the 5 races so far. There's Darrell Waltrip making yet another pit stop, and we believe he's still on the lead lap. He has come in and done this very strategically. They've done a lot of work under this yellow flag. He keeps going out. They come in. They stop for about a minute. He goes back out again, gets on the end of the line. He's still on the lead lap. It doesn't tell you that this division has turned out 5 different winners so far. You know, Brad Teague has not won one yet, nor has Harry Gant won one yet. Now, Jimmy Hensley in the white 00, he does have a victory this year. Tommy Ellis, he's running right up there in the front, as is Tommy Houston. Neither one of them have won. So there's a real good chance this may be race number 6, winner number 6. Then again, Jimmy Hensley may have something to say about that.
Waltrip back out on the racetrack after another stop. The drivers are going for a purse in this race of $80,410, and we are at lap number 108 of 147 that will make up the Dixie Cup 200 here at Darlington. Brad Teague is up front right now. Larry Pollard, car number 98, beside him, but Pollard is laps down to the field. And as the pace car moves into turn number 3 and begins to pick up speed, we are just a few minutes away from going green once again. Jimmy Hensley is now shown in 2nd spot. Tommy Ellis is 3rd. Tommy Houston 4th. And Rick Mast now back to 5th spot. Pace car moves into the pit area as the pace begins to quicken just a little bit. Brad Teague stepping on the accelerator coming out of turn number 4, and back to racing we go. we'll see how much strength he has. He has not run up front yet today, but is in second position in the point standings. And remember, he has won a race this year in the late model Sportsman Series. Jimmy Hensley driving the car that Sam Ard has won the championship in.
I'll tell you, from what I've seen so far, and there's trouble. Rick Mast almost losing control. I think that was Rick coming out of turn number 4. I know it was a light blue car, but we couldn't see from the angle we were at. But whoever it was gathered it back up. Yeah, it was Rick. It cost him some distance on the racetrack, but I don't think any position. Close call there. And Rick Mast doing a really fine job of bringing that car back under control at speed. There's the leader. I was about to say that based on what I've seen so far and what has happened. Uh-oh, here comes Tommy Ellis recently. I'm looking at Harry Gant. Now, if things fall right for him, if he's able to get through this field early on to some of these slower-moving cars and move up there, Harry Gant is going to be very tough.
Look at Tommy Ellis muscle his way into second place. He just pulled alongside Jimmy Hensley and said, "Excuse me, sir, but this is my position." And Ellis, a strong move into second spot, and now is chasing Brad Teague. And into third place goes Tommy Houston. Jimmy Hensley is already back to fourth.
Sugar Pop. Shots and guns. That's Tommy Ellis. By the way, car number 11, Harry Gant, has moved into 10th position, so he has disposed of about 12 or 13 cars here under 4 or 5 green flag laps. And Gant is on the move, but the way Tommy Ellis is showing his feathers right now, I don't know that Harry can catch him. But I still go back to, it seems to me like Teague has looked to be the strongest of all the guys who are currently running up front. And Harry Gant has been fast, and he now has incentive. He's got a reason to do well. So here comes Harry, but does he have enough time?
Well, the interesting thing to me, Larry, look at the guys up front. Brad Teague, late model Sportsman regular. Tommy Ellis, a late model Sportsman regular. In third position is Tommy Houston, a late model Sportsman regular. The Grand National guys that were supposed to be dominant here, or thought could be dominant here, are pretty much by the wayside, with the exception of Harry Gant, who's back there fighting to come up through traffic once again. Darrell Waltrip, just too much body damage to that car and too much damage sustained in the accident, and is no longer a threat to the race.
Well, Bob, one of the secrets to this type of racing always has been finishing the race. It's a very strategic type of racing, and the guys who run LMS cars all the time know the strategy very, very well. I'll tell you, this has often been a contact sport, and that has been part of LMS racing. Finishing means avoiding a lot of the collisions with other cars.
Tommy Ellis, driver of car number 12, the Freelander Oldsmobile. In the past, well, he's been known to be a rather temperamental individual. We ask him about that.
Some people have said that Tommy Ellis possesses the ability to be a great race driver. The only problem is that he has a temper that sometimes overrides his better judgment. Your answer to that?
Well, I feel like I am a great race driver.
More?
That's it.
What makes you a great race driver?
Well, you know, I feel like it's a combination of things. I take it very seriously. I eat, sleep, and drink racing, and I work on my own cars. I've been very successful driving my own cars through my career. And I feel like all those ingredients make me a good race driver. And I'd say the most single thing is the desire to win and be competitive.
Well, there is Tommy Ellis running right behind the leader, Brad Teague, with 31 laps to go. And I'll tell you what, this race is, if we continue to run the way we are right now, it's going to be an exciting battle to the finish, because we've got 4, 5, maybe even 6 cars right now who are within striking distance of the lead. Brad Teague has it right now, but there are the first 4, and they are running right together on the racetrack.
Bob, for Tommy Ellis, I think the way he's built, he's like a husky linebacker in football. That's probably a real advantage for him on a track like that. There's Brad Teague. You can see he has about a 2-car length advantage, at least this time, this lap on Tommy Ellis. There's Tommy Houston right behind, and Jimmy Hensley in the 4th position in the white double zero. But Tommy Houston, because of the build, or rather Tommy Ellis, is probably in a little bit of an advantage in such a demanding racetrack. Although, and there's Brad Teague, and he's just a little bit out of shape coming around turn number 4. As I started to say, these guys all race together so often, race on this type of racetrack, and now we've got a new second-place car. It looks like Tommy Houston moving through. I don't know, maybe that advantage is kind of neutralized. Now they're caught behind slower traffic. Which way to go? There comes Ellis moving in. Houston is on the outside. Ellis is on the inside. Is there room? Yeah, I I think so.
That, by the way, is Eddie Falk, who spun and took Darrell Waltrip with him a few laps ago, or quite a while ago, as a matter of fact. I think that Jeff Bodine. But no factor this time, as all the leaders were able to pass Eddie Falk in car number 04. So it is Brad Teague in the lead now. Houston second, Ellis third, and Jimmy Hindley drops back to fourth.
Oh, that'll make your heart pump a little bit there, won't it? That was tight quarters there, going down the backstretch. But Brad Teague, he did an excellent job. He held his line, he picked the position, and stuck to his guns.
There are the two Grand National drivers, or two of the three Grand National drivers remaining in this race. They're in 8th and 9th position. That is David Pearson in car number 21 and Harry Gant in car number 11. Both of these drivers are substitute drivers for the guy who earlier started the race.
And Harry moving past David. Harry picking up another position, moving into 7th now. And we got a car spinning, almost spinning. It's Tommy Houston getting out of shape, coming out of turn number 2, and that cost him a tremendous amount of distance on the racetrack. Tommy Houston came together momentarily. I couldn't see with whom it was. He was running on the racetrack with Tommy Ellis. That is not to say that it was Tommy Ellis, but I think they touched over there. I think we do have it on replay. Here we have it from the turn 1 camera. There you see Darrell Waltrip smoking on the inside. Or that is Waltrip. There is Brad Teague on the high side. Tommy Houston looking for a place to go. Teague has slowed down, and Tommy Houston has nothing to do except get on the brakes. He got on them just a little hard, and Tommy Ellis also gets tied up, and Teague gets away with it.
Yeah, all that really did was give Brad Teague some breathing room, really, as there's a little bit of distance between himself now and the second place car. They come off of corner number 4, but you can see that Tommy Houston is closing the gap once again.
Boy, he really is, Bob. You know, after that incident, it seemed like that Tommy was involved in a situation where it was going to take him up to 10 laps to recover. But, boy, Houston is really coming back real quickly.
Now, there's certainly some nice body damage to the side of his car. Look at this congestion up there in turn number 3.
Look at Harry Gant. Oh, that is Ellis. That is Rick Mass. You know, that must put Harry Gant up to about 3rd position right now. Now 5th. No, it's 5th position he's in now. But Harry makes a big move, and he continues to rise. Talk about cream you mentioned earlier today. He's rising towards the top.
Also up there in turn number 3. Oh, and we have trouble on the straightaway once again, and Charlie Luck is involved. So is David Pearson and Tommy Ellis. 3 cars coming off of corner number 4 down to the inside, hitting that pit wall that has now become so famous here at Darlington. And they replaced that wall after last year's Southern 500, and boy, it has taken its punishment today. There is Tommy Ellis, who has received considerable damage to the right front of that car. As the others race to the yellow flag, there it is, and Brad Teague still holds the lead with Tommy Houston second. Now, as Tommy begins to climb out of that car, we'll take a look at what happened up there.
Well, here comes David Pearson. You can see him in the middle of your screen, getting high, coming out of the 4th turn. Didn't see that beginning to develop, but David was the one who lost control. Charlie Luck had nowhere to go. They moved down the inside of the racetrack, and here comes Tommy Ellis, luckless Tommy Ellis. He gets involved with David Pearson. He pushes David around. Of course, Tommy makes contact with the front of his car into the left side of David, and all 3 of them with nowhere to go. I did not see how it began, but David Pearson's car was the first one that came shooting out from basically the middle of the racetrack coming out of turn number 4.
So David Pearson is out of his car. There is Tommy Ellis. He is out of his car. And Charlie Luck is also okay, apparently. So no injuries in this accident. There is Charlie Luck. And this was involving the 7th, 8th, and 9th runners at that point. Pearson was shown in 7th. Luck was shown in 8th. And Tommy Ellis was shown in 9th spot. But all drivers are okay, although a lot of damaged equipment on the front stretch here at Darlington.
Bob, I know the vision is something that Grand National drivers are something that they're very conscious about, but I got to tell you, I like that full-face helmet. You see Charlie Luck there unstrapping it. It's got that extra piece of protection around the lower part of the jaw and the lower part of the face, and I really like to see that. I know a lot of the guys are accustomed to the full face. There's David and Charlie, and talk about the old and the new. The guy who's turned a few laps on this racetrack, and then the guy who's turned quite a few laps on this racetrack, and slight grins there. They're talking about what happened, and apparently something may be going wrong with David's race car, because that was really uncharacteristic of David to get out of shape at that point on the racetrack. You know, Bob, there's one other comment I want to make. Last week, Neil Bonnet mentioned on one of our broadcasts, the broadcast of the Bristol Grand National race, about how let's say, slow on the draw the emergency people were getting to crash sites, and there was some criticism that went out to the ambulance crews. They really have been on the ball today. Every time a car has stopped, I have seen that ambulance wagon pull out there almost before the dust clears, and they really get some kudos for that.
They were quick on the scene of the Jeff Hensley accident. They were right there, Johnny, on the spot this time, too. And I'll tell you, David Pearson hit the wall rather hard coming off of corner 4, went to the inside, and hit the wall nearly head-on. There is David conferring with Larry, who he replaced in the car, and other members of the pit crew. But he is okay, and here is Jack Arute in the pit area with David Pearson.
David, what happened out there with you and Charlie Luck?
Well, I was passing him. Of course, I was on, on the inside there. And when it got right here, he just kept right against me, and there wasn't no way I could turn.
We got to get over the wall here. NASCAR's making us go. But what did you have to say to him over on the front stretch there?
No, I just asked him why didn't he get off of me, because he kept pushing me lower and lower. And when you do that, the car won't turn. It makes the car push. And he said, well, why were you doing passing and there? That's a heck of a place to be passing. But I was under him all the way through 3 and 4.
Well, we asked Larry while you were out there what he thought of your driving style, and he says he's still got a lot to learn. What did you learn about the race car?
Well, the car's all messed up. If you don't know the truth, when I got in it, the first lap, I knew that it was geared way, way too low. And but I know what they do. They go around and talk to all these guys in the pits, and they try to tell them what kind of gear they're running just to mess them up, and they believe it. But I tried to tell them yesterday to gear the car a lot higher than what they had it, but they wouldn't do it. So, but anyway, it's messed up. But the car was running, handling real good.
Is Pop going to have a good talking to the rest of the boys tonight?
I don't know what we're going to do. It messed the car up pretty bad this time.
Good luck to you later.
Thanks.
And there is Charlie's Lux car being towed back into the pit area, and it's pretty well damaged. Charlie Luck, of course, a military academy attendee, and there is Tommy Ellis, who I think went down to have a few words also with Charlie and David to find out exactly what happened. But anyway, those 3 drivers are out of the race. Back with more from Darlington, South Carolina after these messages.
A Lee close-up. There's a menace in your motor oil. Dirt you can't see. Micro grit. Today's engines are smaller, harder working. Micro grit is leaving its mark, scratching, grinding away. The unique Lee 2-stage traps the dirt you can't see. It's designed for today's smaller, harder working engines. For clean oil. Lee 2-stage maxi filter. It traps micro grit.
If you want to run farther, play longer, safer, beating foot shock is the name of the game. That's why Dr. Scholl's designed Pro Comfort Eliminator inserts. Foot shock jolts. Like this, the high-tech material in Eliminator inserts absorbs up to 97% of foot shock at heel strike. And the raised arch and cupped heel stabilize to help prevent injuries. Beating foot shock is the name of the game with Eliminator inserts. Fitness starts with Dr. Scholl's Pro Comfort products.
Bob Jenkins, Larry Nuber, and Jack Arute back at Darlington, South Carolina, the Dixie Cup 200 late model Sportsman race, and the cleanup continues here along the main straightaway. Charlie Luck's car and Tommy Ellis's car have both been taken off of the racetrack. However, David Pearson's car remains right at the start-finish line. The rundown: Brad Teague, the leader, Tommy Houston second, Jimmy Hensley is third, L.D. Ottinger is fourth, and Harry Gant running in fifth position, and now we're less than 20 laps from the finish.
And Bob, Darrell Waltrip has lost a lap to the leaders during this yellow flag. They've been continuing to work on the car, and they've been caught in the pits, and he is now 1 lap down out of it for victory.
Another one of the victims of the accident just completed, Tommy Ellis. Here's Jack Arute.
Tommy, what happened out there?
Well, it's just a plain and simple case of stupidity. Charlie Luck and David Pearson, both of them were a little bit to blame. I mean, David had Charlie Luck beat, but he's too stupid to, you still race a man when he's got you on the outside and he's got you by you. You need to back off and let him go. You cannot race a man like that. And all he did was tear up a lot of good equipment, including my car, which is just tore all to hell and nothing left of it.
Well, you were really hooked up, too.
We were running good, but we had a flat tire to add, and we had the second one we had, and it cost us a race. We still need to get in and get it changed. We'd gone to pushing real bad, and I'm sure we had a tire going down.
Well, there's another side to the story of that altercation on the front stretch.
And, Tommy was another one of those victims of circumstances. He was to the inside of David Pearson as that car took off to the inside of the racetrack. And in watching the replay, it was really pretty fortunate, not for Tommy, but fortunate for David that Tommy was there, because his hitting Tommy took away a lot of the momentum, and David would have hit the inside wall much harder had Tommy not been there.
It really did soften the blow. And I'll tell you, Bob, I want to make one comment about Tommy Ellis. I got to respect the guy for one thing. He is very expressive and says exactly what he feels, and he's not throwing any curves. He doesn't hold back any punches, and I do have a lot of respect for that. So you can like it or not, but you know exactly where Tommy Ellis stands, and he lets you know.
We are about to go green once again. The cleanup is completed here on the straightaway. The crews are moving behind the wall. The line on the pace car is out. The two abreast formation is forming. And when they come around, we will have completed 130 laps. That will leave us 17 to go.
Pick somebody, Mr. Jenkins.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think that that Brad T can hold him off. I really do.
I keep looking at Harry again. I do think that he is on a crusade. He's got a cause.
We have had 6 caution periods, by the way. That most recent caution period was the 6th of the afternoon, and a total of 44 laps have been run under caution. So not all that many, but boy, I'll tell you, we have seen some damaged race cars here this afternoon. There's the green. We're back to racing once again, and look at the 4 abreast restart here on the straightaway. They must get up into that black area at the top of the racetrack to get into the groove, and everybody does.
Well, what happened, Harry Gant, of all people, was the one who was slow on the switch, and everybody behind him, I don't think they anticipated Harry being slow. So they all stacked up behind him, and they had to go 3 and 4 to keep up the speed and to shoot for the position going into turn number 1. They've left Harry, by the way, in their dust. Those 4 cars on the screen, that is the number 10 car of L.D. Ottinger. We haven't mentioned him too much today, but boy, he is right in there. The better of this type of racing, and Ottinger, he may have enough.
There are at least 5 drivers capable of winning this race. Those 4 right there, and Harry Gant, who is not too far behind, and Rick Mast is also not too far behind Harry Gant. Now L.D. Ottinger in car 10 moves to the inside of Jimmy Hensley, and Ottinger moves into 3rd spot. He's looking strong here in the closing stages. Tommy Houston is ahead of Ottinger, and ahead of Houston is Brad Teague, the leader of the race.
Here comes Harry.
There is Harry moving into 4th spot, moving to the inside, and passing Jimmy Hensley.
And Dale Jarrett is in 6th position. He's still in it. He's challenging Rick Mast. So as you mentioned, Bob, these 6 guys are still right in it, and anything can happen on this racetrack. Brad Teague gets out of shape just momentarily, and these top 6 positions can completely invert at a minute's notice, at a second's notice.
And look at Harry Gant. He moves into 3rd spot inside of L.D. Ottinger. Harry Gant is 3rd now, and setting his sights on Tommy Houston running in 2nd spot. While the positions are changing back of him, however, Brad Teague continues to hold the lead, and the laps continue to click off. We are 14 from the finish.
As a matter of fact, Brad Teague has really enjoyed this race.
Whoa, 2nd spot goes again. It's 1 a lap, it seems.
Gee, I don't know. I'm beginning to like my pick.
Well, you're looking pretty good.
It wasn't a homer job either, but Harry's got so much experience. I just knew that he would be tough in these final laps, but now he's got the toughest job of all. Brad Teague has run, I think, the most consistent race all day long today. And other people have come up to challenge Brad Teague, who appear to be running faster, and tough break for Rick Mast, the guy from Rockbridge, Virginia, one of your favorite places. Or Rock Bath, is that what they call it, Virginia?
Rock Bath.
He has pulled in. I don't think he's going to lose a lap, but Rick Mast, who was in the top 6, is now out of it for victory. Here come the leaders, meanwhile, out of turn number 4. Harry Gant setting the sights on Brad Teague.
And once again, if you're just joining us, Harry Gant does not normally drive this car. Jack Ingram does. However, during our 53-minute rain delay, Jack said that he just wasn't feeling well. He had some stomach cramps, so decided to call upon his friend and Skoal Bandit driver in the Grand National Division, Harry Gant, to take over. And Harry Gant has driven that car very well this afternoon, is now in 2nd spot. Off of turn number 4, and Harry Gant looks to the inside, but doesn't see the room that he needs to pass Brad Teague for the lead. And Brad holds on with 136 laps now completed.
Well, the noose is tightening. Watch Harry. He's going to try the inside, going through 3 and 4 this time. He's been getting through 3 and 4 very smoothly, so watch him as he goes into 3 this time. He's going to try and duck low to get around Brad Teague. There he goes. He gives it a look. Brad Teague stays right in the line and holds his own. And I'll tell you, if Brad Teague can perform as he has so far today, that's going to be a tough job here. Really tough.
Brad Teague perhaps realizing what Tommy Houston told us at the top of the show, that the late model Sportsman drivers were not going to be intimidated this week by the Grand National stars, and that's what we have here. Late model Sportsman car driver combination against a Grand National veteran. Here they are once again in the third and fourth corners. Harry Gant moving high on the racetrack this time, but again, Teague holds him off, and now we've got less than 10 laps to go.
Uh-oh, here comes Harry. Now he moves to the inside. No, not quite enough room, not quite enough momentum. The guys behind him trying to follow suit, but no hole. It really becomes a thinking man's game, Bob, at this point. There is Brad Teague, the leader. You can see the nose of Harry Gant, who runs in second place right now, trying to mount some type of challenge. It's Tommy Houston, who runs in third position. In fourth is L.D. Ottinger, and the fifth place car still very much in it is the 00 of Jimmy Hensley.
And Brad Teague in car 75 took the lead on lap 103, so he has held it for the last 37 laps. The question is, can he hold on for the next 8 laps? If he can, he'll chalk up a late model Sportsman victory in the Dixie Cup 200 here at Darlington. But boy, he's got some major work to do as Harry Gant is breathing down his neck, literally, as they go down the backstretch. There's less than a car length separation between the first and second cars, and really you can throw a blanket over the first 5. Anybody can pull out a victory here this afternoon. And just like last year in this Dixie Cup 200, when about 5 or 6 cars were battling for the lead at the end, we've got 5 going for it here this afternoon. 7 laps to go now. Brad Teague continues to hold the lead.
Boy, suddenly Teague and Gant have left everybody else in their wake. I don't think it is any longer a 5-car race at this point. It comes down to 2 cars. And I'll tell you one other thing, Bob. I'll go out a little bit on a limb. I think this is Brad Teague's race to win or lose. Harry Gant...
Whoa. You just said a while ago that Harry Gant was going to win.
No, but I think this is Brad Teague's race to win or lose. Harry is just a little faster than Brad Teague, but not quite enough to really get around. I think if Brad can maintain this perfect line, and that's about the only way I can describe it, for the next 3 or 4 laps or whatever's left, I don't think Harry has quite enough to get around unless he tries some bonsai move and gets away with it on the last lap.
There is Brad Teague, who's trying his best, and there is Harry Gant, who's also trying his best to get out of second spot and in the lead. This may be it. Harry Gant moves alongside Brad Teague in turn number 4. They come off side by side down the straightaway. They cross the finish line side by side. Brad Teague just a little bit ahead. They bump going into turn 1, and Brad Teague almost loses control but holds on.
What was that word you guys were banding around earlier today? Intimidation? See, that was Rick Mast in front of him, so it wasn't necessarily a slow car. That's why they didn't move up on it so fast. But boy, talk about turning back intimidation. Both Teague and Harry Gant, before they get A's.
Well, I'll tell you, it'll be too bad if Brad Teague does not win this race, because taking absolutely nothing away from Harry Gant and the problems that he has had to overcome this afternoon, Brad Teague has driven a very, very good race, a very smart race. And with less than 4 laps to go now, you can imagine what is going through Brad Teague's mind. Not only is he hearing things in the engine and hearing things that might go wrong with the car that allows him not to win, but he's probably asking himself, what can I do, or can I hold off Harry Gant?
I think it's just a matter of concentrate. He almost has to work without regard to the rearview mirror, yet be conscious of it. He cannot drive this race car by constantly looking at the rearview mirror, but he has to keep like a third eye peeled on it so he knows where Harry is, because he certainly doesn't want to mess up both himself and Harry. But so far, boy, perfection, lap after lap. He stays in the right lane. Of course, he only has to use up 2 on this racetrack, but Teague slips up a little bit. Harry Gant moves to the inside.
They touch once again, and this time Harry Gant slips by into the lead. They come down the straightaway, and there'll be 2 more laps to go, but Harry Gant has moved into the lead, passing Brad Teague. And now Tommy Houston is right there in third position, as it looks like that perhaps Harry is going to leave everybody in his wake. Or is he? Well, maybe not. Brad Teague hanging right in there, not letting Harry get too far away. Less than 2 laps to go now, about a lap and a half to go. There's a battle for third position, and L.D. Ottinger goes into third, putting Tommy Houston back to 4 spot. Into corner number 4 they come now. The white flag will come out this time around. Harry Gant is the leader of the Dixie Cup 200. There's the white flag. Less than 1.366 miles to go. Slower traffic ahead of the leader. That's Larry Pollard in car number 98. They go into turn number 2. There's about a 4-car length separation between Harry Gant and Brad Teague. Down the backstretch for the final time. Gant is the leader. Now they move into turn number 3. It's clear sailing ahead. Not a lap car in sight for Harry Gant. And it looks like that Gant is going to win this late model Sportsman race here this afternoon. Off of corner number 4, the checkered flag shows Harry Gant wins. Brad Teague winds up second. L.D. Ottinger third, and Tommy Houston fourth.
Wow. 6 races, 6 different winners. The man who did not even have a late model Sportsman ride when they came to Darlington this week, Harry Gant, he ends up being the winner. There is Jack Ingram, a nice smile on his face, obviously talking to Harry, saying, way to go, partner. And now they have a meeting in Victory Lane.
An unbelievable story here this afternoon. Harry Gant substitutes for Jack Ingram and wins the Dixie Cup 200 here at Darlington International Raceway. And Harry will be in contention for Victory Lane tomorrow in the Trans-South 500 Grand National Race. Well, here's how it happened, and this is where Harry Gant went into the lead, passing Brad Teague.
Well, we noticed earlier that Harry was really getting around 3 and 4, and unless Brad had just the perfect line, and I mean the perfect line in terms of Harry, to stifle Harry's move going into 3 and 4, it was just a matter of not being able to hold Harry back. He gave Harry that little bit of room, and Harry moved by.
That was the pass that put Harry Gant into the lead and into Victory Lane. More from Darlington, South Carolina in just a moment.
Racing. From the inside, no one covers it like Auto Week. Auto Week makes you an insider at the world's great race circuits every week. In the pits, behind the scenes, even in the cockpit with racing driver columnists in Formula One, NASCAR, and kart. Inside coverage just days after the race. And Auto Week puts you inside the world's most exciting cars, right behind the wheel. Auto Week takes you inside the whole automotive scene. Personalities, great cars of the past, columnists with inside scuttlebutt. Let Auto Week make you an insider, too. Call for a year's subscription to Auto Week. 52 issues for just $17.25. 25% off the regular price. Call 1-800-554-2828 to get Auto Week at the lowest price ever, just 33 cents an issue. Call right now, 1-800-554-2828. Let Auto Week make you an insider, too.
Back at Darlington, South Carolina, where Harry Gant has won the Dixie Cup 200, and now we go down to Victory Lane, which is brought to you by Goodyear Tires and Goodyear Service for more good years in your car. Here's Jack Arute.
Harry, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
I tell you what, those last 4 or 5 laps, they were enough to make anybody's hair turn white.
Yeah, it's going to be a little close there, but I figured we could take him any time, you know. This car ran real good today. You know, Jack Ingram's cars always run good. Compare his cars to Travis Carter's cars.
Let's get the split on the prize money. How much are you going to get? How much is Jack going to get?
Jack's going to give me all of it, he said. If I could win today, he'd give me all of it.
Well, it's going to be a very happy fellow in Harry Gant, and I'm sure Jack Ingram is just as happy. Let's go to the tower. Yeah.
Hey, the boss is here.
Congratulations. Our congratulations to Harry Gant and to Jack Ingram, the owner of the car. The victory here at Darlington today. He took the lead for the first time with just 2 laps to go. We'll be right back at Darlington.
Indianapolis, where the gladiators of the automotive world do battle, where one competitor has dominated the Indy 500. It is a tire born of advanced design and innovative technology, the only tire to qualify. For the past 10 years, the only tire on every car in the Indy 500.
Shake, shake it on down, shake it on down now, shake it on down the line. I said shake, 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 shake it on down.
test big Ford pickups. We really shake them up above and beyond how you normally drive your truck. That's another reason why we can say they're built Ford tough.
Shake, 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 shake it on down.
The best built American trucks are built Ford tough.
The Dixie Cup 200 late model sportsman race from Darlington, South Carolina has been brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? Our race summary showed that the time of the race was 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 4 seconds. The average speed, 121.719. 8 leaders, 12 lead changes, 6 caution periods for a total of 44 laps. The top 5 finishers, the winner, Harry Gant. Finishing in second position, Brad Teague. Third was L.D. Ottinger. In fourth spot was Tommy Houston. And fifth was Jimmy Hensley. We invite you to join us for live coverage tomorrow beginning at 1 o'clock Eastern Time right here at Darlington International Raceway for the Trans-South 500 for Grand National cars. Bill Elliott will be on the pole for that race. Our congratulations once again to today's winner, Harry Gant. For Jack Arute and Larry Newber, this is Bob Jenkins saying so long from Darlington. We'll see you